Hello, Brent.
Hello.
We are jumping in the deep end here.
Yes. All righty.
I'm digging this office setup.
You like it?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it look like we almost know what we're doing.
Shh. Don't say that until we're not live. No, definitely say it when we're live. I know. I love it. I'm actually liking it a lot. Libby said something that was really super interesting, uh, which was, "Hey, Brent, love you. But if you want to look scruffy, like less, like she said, first, I don't want to change who you are. You can always be approachable. Number one. Don't you love?
It's a good way to start a statement.
Good way to start a statement. And then she said, so think about a balance. So if you want to have less professionalism in your attire, then increase the professionalism of your surroundings. And we got a beautiful office, so go over and go to the office. I was like, okay. I've heard it a number of times. That's why I'm here. Yesterday, by the way, was the prime number day, and totally forgot to mention it. This was the level up.
It was just so prime. We just didn't even have to talk about it.
No, it was like, yeah, gotcha. People just knew. So that also makes me think about. So anyways, actually, and you came into the conversation as well. Like, I'm the president, whatever, agency owner, and co-owner. And so, okay, so, Arthur, you're in the basement, but he's got the professional attire, like, slick. You've actually made it into the reviews, feedback. Like, we literally have a legit review about calling out your awesome attire, your style.
Hey, now you're just making me realize I forgot the bow tie today.
I know. What's up? That's your thing. And so that's where it says, if you want to be kind of scruffy, Brent, it would help if you increase the non-scruffiness of your locale.
I like that idea that there's kind of like a balance.
Yeah. There's actually interest. Juxtaposition is a really strong, powerful communication tool, right? David Bowie was famous for doing juxtaposition. He would take two competing ideas or two contrasting ideas and pull them together. It's a really great technique to communicate. Okay. So yeah, up, like, back to the bow tie. Yeah, all of that. It's going to be our thing. Oh, dude. I've got to, hold on. Wait a second. Do I have it? Maybe I have it. I maybe don't have it. Oh, I do have it. Okay. The shades. Okay.
I gotta say though, an idea that does have me excited is because I like Joe Rogan's setup, right? They've got like the big table, they've got like the mics, they've got the nice cameras, but it also just seems like relaxing and a fun place to hang out.
Yeah.
I was totally starting to envision that at the office because you got the big table there.
We've got a great harvest table. That was one of our favorite purchases when we bought this, or not bought this, leased this place.
Yeah, and just to turn that into just like a beautiful studio space.
Yeah, right in the middle of the entire team working. All right, everybody, you're not going to be able to concentrate for a half an hour. I can't wait for that to happen. I literally cannot wait for that to happen.
Getting the team back together. It's like getting the band back together.
I know. Yes, we need the band back on the road, coming to a single destination and then performing. Yeah, I really want that to happen. Like, we have got an incredible space here. It really is. For those who are watching, it's like a retail store. Like, it's got a storefront. It's got this beautiful backyard. It's like a really, really awesome. It's like my favorite place. I'm so excited about it. And I'm still tickled pink every time I come here. It's like just the best thing in the world. Compared to where we were before, we were like in a corporate tower. Is the least creative agency ever.
Well, that was actually something when when I was going through and making updates to our Google My Business, I realized we had this like beautiful shots of inside the office. We had photos of that, but they weren't actually on our business listing. And I forget what was. Oh, there was like some sketchy photo of like a velociraptor. It's like this is a
Yeah.
raptor. This is a raptor free zone.
Yeah.
Um, which was cute and it was funny. Um, but my thought was like, we need to highlight how stunning the office is.
Okay. I actually, when that was put up here at the office, actually downstairs, um, uh, yeah, I love that. I love the humor of it. I wanted to show some of our personality there. You know me, I'm all about personality. So our producer Maggie has reminded us, are we inviting people to watch the show? And I'm like, oh, hold on. Whoa, we got 47 seconds. I have not been inviting people to watch the show. So let's.
I was gonna say I was just having so much fun here talking about velociraptors.
I know. All right. Invite. Come on, everybody. Come check out the show. There's so much awesome stuff happening
I
here.
just feel like when we are having so much fun on camera, it's like that energy just kind of transcends out into the universe. And I feel like people can just pick it up. Like we don't need to invite people. People just know that this is happening.
But that's kind of that's challenging for people because you're walking down the street and you're like, oh, I feel like I need to be somewhere. I feel like I need to be watching a marketing show. Why do I feel this in my soul as my purpose for life right now? And
my Kobayashi senses are tingling.
Yeah, and so my purpose of life is to be on this show, to watch this show, and yet we don't tell them how to get to the show. Like, does that not sound like the universe? Speaking of which, let's start the universe of this show. Are you ready?
Born ready, Brent.
You're born ready. I'm not. I'm actually like, I've got none of this stuff actually set up. I was just so excited to be talking with you, man. Okay, here we go. Oh, hold on. No, we're not going. God, wait, stop.
Deep breath.
Share. Hold on. The show is starting now, everybody. You may not know that, but I know that. Okay. Contrary to evidence to the contrary, the universe has been saying, invite people in, our energies out there, and here we go.
You've tuned in to COVID Marketing with Brent Kobayashi and Arthur Tutt, the show to support small business not just to survive, but to thrive.
That's right. We are live with COVID Marketing episode number 44, and we're coming again from the socially distanced office of Kobayashi Zeit. Guys, this is that show that helps you survive, not just thrive. This is the show to help you. I'm going to change my intro, man. I can't handle it. This is the show that helps you thrive, not just survive. Weekdaily at 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. If you have questions on marketing or business or, well, whatever you are interested in asking us, we'll try to answer it. So let us know in the comments wherever you fine folk are watching this. I am Brent Kobayashi, president of the Kobayashi Zeit Guys, a marketing agency here in Toronto, Canada. With me is Mr. Arthur Tutt,
Morning,
also of the agency Kobayashi Zeit Guys.
So I had two thoughts off the back. First of all, because we've got another prime number, I'm trying to do math really quick. 47 coming up soon.
Yep, like on Monday.
Okay, maybe the new intro could be our next prime update.
Oh, the new intro. What would be the new intro?
Well, I don't know, but you just said right there we need to rewrite the script.
I only want to rewrite the script when I screw up the script. When I get the script, I love the script. So never mind that. That was just me and the frustration of the moment. We're live and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So
second thought I had, because I really do love that intro music with that David Blackmore put together. I would love if we could do some like collab with him and like help him out in some way.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. Let's do it. we've been talking about he's got some actually kind of a neat marketing idea. So yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's either have him on the show or do a one-on-one private thing, whatever suits, where he's at. And let's see if we can help him out. I totally agree. Let's do it. Okay. Now, before we get into the show,
sorry, I was just getting a report that our live stream has gone a bit fuzzy.
Okay. As in it is live or not live?
Apparently the screen went fuzzy and then to black.
All right, faded to
so
black.
if AC/DC back to black here.
Yep. Okay.
Back in black.
Okay.
The Raptor.
So
if anybody who's watching, can you just confirm if we're still like good here? Free zone.
Yeah.
Which was cute and it was funny. Is that me or you?
Okay, I think I'm live. That was me.
Okay. Maggie says it's fine.
Are you live? Everybody's fine?
I'm always fine, Brent.
You're totally always fine. You know what, Arthur? I just got to say one thing.
David Blackmore gave us a thumbs up.
Okay, awesome. I less than 3 doing this show with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey? You too?
Works out pretty well.
Yeah. All right. So, before we move on into the show, because we're going to be talking about attribution and all sorts of interesting things. It's sort of our B2B segment, which works with B2C. It works at a lot of things, but we want to focus a little bit on B2B today, and attribution is a super important part of it. Just a reminder to everybody who's watching, actually 2 reminders to everybody who's watching. We have, and this is the best thing in the world, and I really, really super appreciate it, a bunch of returning viewers. If this is serving you and you think it works for you, share this episode right now with your social audience. And you can give whatever context, if you're into business or if you're just into crazy people talking or whatever it is that gives you context.
If you just really love Ladybugs.
Whatever the value you're getting out of this show, just click that share button and say, hey, come check this out. Loving whatever it is, Arthur's style and all that type of stuff. Your style gets a lot of mentions and people saying this is an awesome show, by the way. And you're not wearing the bow tie, which is okay today because you know why? Celebrate mistakes. Okay, the second thing I want to mention is this Friday. What do I want to mention about this Friday?
It's Friday.
This Friday, we're going to do an episode all about the questions that you have. Okay, so viewing audience, what questions do you have that you want us to answer? I know we mentioned it in the pre-show every day, and we've been working on topics and all stuff, but we want to dedicate this particular Friday to answering your questions about marketing and business. So questions. If you know somebody that might have questions, share with them this show and say, hey, if you want your questions answered, send it to these guys. Okay.
Any direction on the questions? Like, are we just talking about marketing questions in general?
Marketing. It can be business. We can dig into business. Like, I've been running this business for 25 years. Got some experience with that. Like, what are your challenges right now? What is getting in your way? What's blocking you from getting from now to where you want to go? And it can be about any freaking thing. What is your block from where you are now to where you want to go? Is it fear? Is it judgment? Is it, I don't know how to do it? I have no idea where to start. Is it, I've got this very specific problem, whatever that is. I'm like, we'll go into it. If you're like, I do not know how to do this thing with Zoom or how to launch an online e-class, and I want to do that, we'll get into it. No problem.
Yep. And I was going to say bonus points too. If you can ask us like a really hard question that stumps us, those are the best.
100%. And because we'll dig into it. Listen, every single day as a business, as an agency for our clients, but as a business, we are always looking into what are our blocks. Like, that is actually part of our thing that we do at the end of the day is we report, what did we do? We put it in Slack, right? Because we're all kind of diverse right now. What do we do? What are we going to do tomorrow? What are my blocks? Like, what's going on here? What's stopping us from leveling up? Like, what's going on there? Okay. So anyways, That's coming this Friday. It's going to be a big Q&A day. So yes, give us Q's so we can A. All right, Arthur, let's get into the show today.
A plus.
Yep. Let's get into the show today.
All right, so we're talking about attribution modeling. And I can already feel everybody's eyes just like glazed over when I said that.
I know. You know what? Just give us an intro to that because it's a really exciting topic. It's a really important topic.
Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe the best way I could intro it is just with an example of a client that I worked with.
Perfect. Go for it.
Okay, so really high level attribution modeling is being able to track what source led to a sale. Right. What does that mean? Okay. Well, I had a client who worked in the tourism business, and he was on Facebook. He was on Instagram. He sent out emails. He was on Google. He had a Google My Business, and he was running Google Ads. And when he came to me, the problem that he was having is he was saying like, yeah, I keep getting these calls from Google reps and they want me to spend more money on Google ads. They're like, yeah, spend more money. You'll get more clicks. You'll get more clients. And his response, and I really liked his response. He was like, look, I would love to spend more money. I would love to, but I don't know that these ads are actually working for me. Right. Because there was kind of this black box of he was spending money, paying for ads, being on Facebook, putting up posts, writing blogs. He was like spending all this money, but he didn't know what was actually working for him. And without getting into too many of the specifics here, there was a weird setup on his website where he couldn't track where the purchases were actually coming from. And so what I helped him do with this attribution modeling was I helped him to be able to track, okay, if somebody comes from Facebook and they come to your website and they make a purchase, we can see that purchase came from Facebook. If somebody clicked on your Google ad, came to your website and made a purchase, we can track that purchase came from the Google ad, right? And so the idea is, as a client, he wants to be able to make informed business decisions about where to put more money. Should I spend more money on Google? Should I spend more money on Facebook? Should I write more blogs? Like there's so many things that you can do. And with attribution modeling, you can make better decisions about what's actually working for you and what to do more of. That clear as mud.
Well, super clear. Basically, what do you attribute your success to? Right? So, this is basic business stuff, right? The challenge is, and the reason why it's called attribution modeling instead of just where did you get your client, is because it then becomes a little bit more complicated online because there's many different moving parts. So today we're just going to get into this a little bit. We're actually going to play this out over the next month as we're going to get a bit into the topic today, give you a little sense of what it is and why it's important. What is attribution? How does it affect your marketing and business? Talk a little bit about the basics, a little bit about how we can do things. And then we'll get more deeper as we go over the month.
One thing I want to add here is, to me, this is what's exciting about digital marketing as a concept, because you can actually track these things with a pretty high level of precision and accuracy, right? And if you think back of like the old days, right? And let's say you had a business and you were marketing, you put something on TV, you put something on the radio, you had a billboard, you put an ad in a magazine, and then clients would show up, right? And maybe people might be able to tell you how they came across your business, but for the most part, business owners would just kind of throw a bunch of stuff out there and then kind of hope for the best. And what digital marketing can let you do when you set it up properly is you can actually track what is and isn't working for you.
100%. So one of the big things, all right, we have a delivery. Come on here. Do you want to be on the show? Or actually, no, you don't want to be on the show. Okay. He's like very much not wanting to be on the show. Awesome. I don't even have to sign for it now. All right, dude, you have a great day. Thanks very much for doing this. That's what happens when you're doing a live show, man. All right.
We could have had a cameo from the delivery guy.
We literally could have had a cameo. I can tell right now he actually has a bit of performer in him. Missed opportunity. Okay, that could have been his big break, right? So actually, I was going to get into this a little later, but I want to get into this now. Yes, the digital world is so good at allowing you to track what's going on to like a really, really big degree. And I've seen two challenges with this. Well, and it's also complicated or more complicated, right?
To do it right.
Yeah, literally. I mean, if you want to go back 20 years, if you're a small business, somebody walks in the door, you say, how do you find out about us? They say the Yellow Pages. They say, okay, my Yellow Pages is working for me. And that could be it. Maybe you do a little bit of radio and TV and you got a little bit of something going on there. As things started to get a little bit complicated, like with direct mail, what you would do is you would have direct mail campaigns with dedicated 1-800 numbers or phone numbers. And then there was a level of attribution modeling, attribution you can do to that sort of thing and get a sense of where the money's worth it. Then as things went digital, online, two things I saw happen. One, people started to over attribute and people started to under attribute, right? So over attribution is I just put my website up and I'm getting these leads and therefore my websites, these are, because somebody's filling in the form on my website, it means that my Google Ads campaign is working.
It's raining business.
Yeah. So you've told me about this example before, like you're talking about, should I spend more money or not more money? And once you figured out the technical details of doing the attribution of it, you're like, yeah, Google Ads is doing well for you, or there's some value in it, but you're getting the majority of your stuff from Google Organic. In other words, the stuff that you're not paying for specifically in Google, right? There might be a cost to get up high in Google's results, but it's not an ad. You're not paying an ad to get up high. And so, he was right to question whether or not I should be attributing all of this traffic to my Google paid ads. And so what I've seen many times is people build something and they start attributing their traffic to something that doesn't exist because it's complicated and it's the internet. So therefore it is my success. That's over attribution. Under attribution is when you discount activities that you're doing because you're not able to feel like the direct line. So a billboard ad might be doing fantastic for you, but you might under attribute its part in your entire marketing ecosystem of bringing you awareness and business. To give you a very, very simple example of that, there was this hit home to me. I tweeted out, we had an agency and I went out and I got our first Macintosh computer because we needed a Mac to do browser testing or something else like that. I said, okay, we're going to do this. So I went and I got a Mac and I tweeted going over to the dark side. I don't know, it seemed funny to me. Nobody else has to laugh. And a picture and getting this for our company or something else like that. 0 likes, retweets, or any of the other stuff that you might say, oh, there was success. 2 months later, somebody asked me, it was actually a potential client, so how do you like your new Mac? Right? And so under many circumstances, when you're doing social type stuff, people feel like silence equals failure.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. Where you're just not understanding necessarily user behavior, right? So one of the things that is very important when you're talking about attribution is it might give you an area to focus on. Oh, this is working, therefore I am going to invest more in this. It doesn't prove a negative though. It doesn't prove that Google Ads doesn't work. It just may not be as effective, or you may not be able to see what it's doing for you in general. It certainly doesn't prove that general awareness stuff, activities that you might do, such as social media, doesn't work. It just means that you're not being able to connect the dots and provide the attribution. It really can be an issue where people just sort of under attribute, especially if your sales channel seems direct to you, right? So I am selling to this person, and you feel like you would have gotten that sale without all of the marketing that you're doing, whereas you're not understanding that that person thought about you, was referred to you, saw your posts, saw this, saw that, went to your website, saw that you're active, and then decided to buy from you. And when you have enough of that, then there's a certain level of value that you can attribute to your general marketing efforts that maybe is not the direct line that suddenly Google Ads shows you, and then you drop all the rest of the stuff because you feel like that's the only thing that's working.
So just being aware of time here. We did just hit time. I feel like there's still a lot to dive into and dissect here.
Yeah.
I think at this point everybody is super convinced that attribution is a great thing and they should be doing it. I think there's some more mechanics that we could get into of, okay, how do you actually go about doing that? Should we save that for next week when we?
Yeah, we're going to save it for next week, but I do want people to get started now with thinking about attribution. Super, super, super important. Basically, you want to ask the customer, how did you hear about us? Where are all the places you heard about us? It's great if you're having a one-on-one conversation. Like, did you hear about us? Like, why are you here? So you get the primary thing that you can attribute it to. So-and-so said something, right? But then just keep having the conversations. I know so many people, including us, I've had sales people, like, they don't want to really push too much to find out. I'm like, no, ask them, how did you find us? Where have you seen us? And sometimes you get general things like Google, right? Or the internet, and they don't really know because they might not understand what it is that's very specific about you. But keep asking so that you can start seeing the patterns and start writing that client list that we talked about putting together so you can understand who your audience is. Add all your attribution things. Like, just start with the basics. Be inquisitive, because then you start to understand your business. Because if you're not figuring out what you can attribute your success to, if you're not measuring this, you don't know. It's going to be a gut feeling, and it's going to not actually produce the results that you want. You're not giving yourself enough information to make business decisions going forward. Yeah, ask your customer, how did you hear about us? Next week, Arthur, what are we going to get into?
With attribution modeling, I think we're going to dive deeper into how to actually set it up, and what does it mean in terms of in Google Analytics. Basically, how do you get it set up, and then how do you observe in Google Analytics what's actually working? We're going to get into something called UTM, tracking parameters, which again sounds super nerdy. It's not as scary as it sounds.
We will super keep it high level and contextual so you can understand what it means, where you might want to get support, and how you work with that person to get support. We'll keep it at that level. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you. I just was like, we need to make sure that as we are going to geek out a little bit, absolutely. But we're going to make sure that it is business accessible. At least that's the intention. You cool?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Something that people can take away. And for tomorrow, we're going to be talking more about video, like video content, and how to create some great videos for your ads.
Fantastic. Looking forward. So tomorrow is, with our grand master plan, content day. It's like the best day. Content is such a big thing these days. It's such a big part of all of this. All right. We may, like, there's some stuff that's changing on the show. We may need to extend this thing. I know, but we have so much fun at the top of the show, and then we get into it and we have like 10, 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Sorry. This is like conversation for the end part of the show.
So if it's not going to be 19 minutes, would it be 29 minutes?
Okay. We're going to like end the show now. Really looking forward to digging more into attribution. It is such an important part of a business's success. If you're at the beginning of the business, just start setting up some basics now. Think about it, about how you're going to track your customers and really understand them. Okay. So I'm going to go into the end times now. You good?
Let's cut it.
No. Okay. End times and then cut it. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
You've tuned in to COVID Marketing with Brent Kobayashi and Arthur Tutt, the show to support small business not just to survive, but to thrive.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really super appreciate it. Hope you found this valuable. Hope you found this COVID marketing episode on May 20th, 2020, something that served you well. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow as we dig into content. More specifically, video content. It is the scary thing for so many people. We're going to break it down for you, and we're going to make it something that you can do. And we're not only going to do that, we're going to like super encourage you to get out there and show up with your video content, because it is powerful. And the reason why it's powerful is because it freaking scares people to do. And if you can get through that, the world is going to be your oyster.
And cut it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Whew. I love that. That was good. What did you think?
Oh yeah,
That was super good.
I had an idea actually as you were talking about making video content and how it can seem kind of scary. What I was thinking we could do whatever is, while we are live streaming here, I can take my phone and I'll start just a Facebook live stream of myself, just saying a few random words of gibberish, just to highlight it doesn't need to be a big deal. You don't have to have like some perfectly laid out script and know exactly what you're going to say and sound like super sharp and all of this. You can just
do it.
What is this for?
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow we can talk about live streaming, but we were just going to talk about like video ads.
Ah, yes. So, by the way, everybody who's in our end times, welcome back again, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being producer behind the show. So the people that are still sticking around, which is awesome. This is our like almost one, other than the pre-show, the end show is kind of my part of my favorite stuff. So, and by the way, Maggie is like, you're actually producing our show now.
I am.
Yeah, Arthur, like that chat, like throughout the show, I found that so cool.
Keep us on point.
Keep us on point. Gives us some extra messaging ideas. Like I was like, wow.
Lets us know that we're still actually live and not just a black screen.
Yes, that's true too. That was awesome. Yes, so I like that idea of going live. Maggie, I think the intention you're saying is we're going to talk more about the Facebook ads and how we get going through that.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking, because we were going to talk in the following weeks about coming up with your concept and storyboarding, etc., kind of going forward from sort of Patricia's initial challenge that we talked about on the show last week. But I think we should also talk about live coming up. So given that we're still in week 1, we could shift gears and do live instead, if that's more
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, to be clear, I wasn't talking about doing a segment on Facebook Live. It was more just to Brent's point of that a lot of people can sometimes feel nervous getting behind camera for the first time. And I was just gonna say, look, it doesn't need to be a big deal. Boop, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna
Got
say
it.
hi for
Ah,
3 seconds. And look, I just did a live video.
Got
yeah.
it.
Recorded my video. So actually, yeah, let's actually make sure we bring into tomorrow's show that initial feeling that you're going to feel when you start doing video. Most people, not everybody, but many, many, many people. And yeah, let's do that as a quick demonstration. In fact, I'd almost encourage everybody as they're preparing to do their video ads to do that. Like just start streaming and speak gibberish. This is ridiculous stuff, right? Just to get comfortable in front of the camera. Like, yeah, let's go. Let's make sure we cover that as a bit of it, and then break down some of more of the practical tips. All right. So, what else do we want to do in the end times before we go to the end times?
I don't know. Up to you guys.
I think I'm cool. Arthur, what do you think? I think we got this.
We got this, Brent.
Yeah, we got this. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for joining us in the end times. I actually, you know what? This show is probably going to change. I don't know if Prime Number is going to stick. I feel like it might. Prime Number Day, it may not. I'm not entirely sure. I think we're going to start moving a little bit too fast, and we're going to be doing level ups faster than Prime Numbers appear. I'm not 100% convinced now with the end times. Like I'm actually not. We kind of got our show wrap up kind of happening. I think that's starting to congeal. So I don't know if you people are watching and you like the end times, and let us know. If you couldn't care less and we don't hear, we literally hear silence, well, maybe we'll stop. Not, per my conversation earlier, silence doesn't mean people don't enjoy the end times, right? Because you actually can't prove a negative. It's not possible. But if we can get some positive, like some actual feedback, like, yeah, whatever. Don't care about the end times. You know what I mean?
I mean, I like it just as our chance just to like kind of chill and debrief a little bit.
Yeah, but the question is, does it go public or not?
Sure. I think people love seeing behind the scenes, right? What's what's actually going on over there.
Mm-hmm. It might be an interesting time. Actually, I really like the idea of you coming live on it, Maggie, like you are now, and just starting to talk about tomorrow's episode and that type of thing.
Yeah, we could do that. And I mean, if we have some good engagement, it might be interesting to get some questions and suggestions from people of what they want to see next. So we can talk about that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, now let's end.